set up here. Just trying to get the chat client up too so I can see just in case anybody responds. And now I'm getting the Instagram stream set up as well. Forgot to do that. Just one more moment. Hope everyone's doing well so far. If anyone's tuning in, give me a shout out in chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just one more moment, we're getting Instagram up and running. Say again, baby? Yeah. On Instagram. Sorry to yell into the mic. Okay. Hopefully. Yeah, that's yesterday's. So hopefully this is saving. Let's go, I don't know. Perfect. And it should be good now. I don't know if my Facebook's working though. It does not look like a Facebook is. Oh, it was working? Okay, great. Beautiful. Alrighty. Well, thank you again for all your patience while we get all the technical wherewithal set up. It's time to get started. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, baby. All right. So we've got the tech part all set up. So thank you all for joining me for this mindful moment. My name is Dan. Welcome. This is a mindful moment brought to you from Dantean Energy. It's going to be about 30 minutes long and consists of primarily an introduction and review from last week, then a brief topic of discussion, then a 10 to 15 minute guided meditation. Then we're going to finish up with a koan, which is a Zen riddle, which will be discussed at the beginning of next week. Alrighty, let's get started. So we're going to begin each class with our opening ceremonies. First, we set an intention. An intention is a dedication or a practice or, a purpose for your practice. And it's just a good way to kind of set the mood for whatever we're about to be doing. So we're going to seal in this intention with a deep breath in and long breath out. Lovely. Next, I'd like to remind this valuable reminder that the real meditation is how you live your life. I feel like the meaning of this quote changes day by day, but just take a second and meditate on that. Meditate on it quite literally, quite actively. That meditation is not just what you're doing on the mat. It's what we take into our day-to-day living as well. So next, I would like to briefly discuss our greetings, or our koan from yesterday. So now it's a greeting wisdom. Yesterday it was a departing wisdom. But the koan went a little something like this. Shunzen held out his short staff and said, "If you call this a short staff, you oppose reality. You do not call it a short staff, you ignore the fact. Now what do you wish to call it?" This is a very similar paradox to the statement is false, or this statement is false. It also points to this dualistic thinking nature that we have. Short, long, good or bad, the reality is what it is. By looking deeply at everything, we begin to see its truer nature. Instead of reducing it down to a single characteristic, we can begin to embrace reality for what it truly is. And that's what I believe this koan kind of stimulates us to think of. One of the common things in Buddhism is not this or that. It is this and that, this, that, this or that. So instead of having just two options, you have essentially four options. And I think that's one of the kind of core tenets of the Buddhist perspective. And next we will again be reviewing our definition, our working definition of mindfulness. And mindfulness is a combination of awareness, equanimity, and concentration. So to review, awareness is the recognition of existence. I know and I know that I know. Equanimity is the unconditional acceptance of what is now, non-judgment, non-attachment. And then concentration is the intention to keep in the mind's attention the cultivation of awareness and equanimity. And that is what we're going to be talking specifically about today. So what is concentration? Well, in the practice of mindfulness, concentration is the act or power of focusing one's attention or mental effort. Specifically, in regards to meditation and mindfulness, it's one-pointedness of mind. It consists of forcing the mind to remain in one static point. And again, it has an intentional, deliberate effort of forcing. So, here's our pillars of mindfulness: awareness, equanimity, and concentration. And what we kind of find is this thread of attention that goes through all of them. And what concentration does is it applies that attention to either awareness or equanimity. I used to say that mindfulness is really just two things: awareness and equanimity, and then it is concentration along with the subtle attention that kind of dedicates that practice. So let's talk a little bit about skillful concentration. Skillful concentration is derived from the Eightfold Path of Buddhism, which is kind of 8 things you can be doing to have a right course of action. The skill of concentration is concentration or focusing the mind solely on one thing, and it can be whatever it is we do in that one moment. Meditation is a tool for practicing concentration. But when we think about meditation, we think of someone sitting like a pretzel or doing something generally very passive. But meditation is more than sitting. We can practice it doing anything: going on a walk, eating, being with loved ones, doing essentially any activity. Whether it's a chime or a thought or an advertisement, the opposite of concentration is distraction. Distraction stops us from seeing life as it truly is. Have you ever noticed a different building or a park or a house or whatever, just something you've never noticed before? When we practice skillful concentration, we broaden our awareness. And when we broaden our awareness, we start to attend with more presence to our lives. It can be about slowing down and seeing things we haven't seen before. Similarly, when we use concentration, as we often do in mindfulness, we use it in this practice of sitting with or turning towards. And this is sitting or turning towards a feeling or sensation that is often difficult. When we sit with the feeling, we really seek insight. We use concentration to push away the other distracting thoughts and to become more present with the feelings, the emotions, or sensations. The goal of concentration is to find insight. Now, briefly, I just wanted to talk about this maybe erroneous delineation that often gets made within the realm of meditation. But I just wanted to kind of briefly talk about it to kind of provide some insight. So, mindfulness in its truest form is a form of insight meditation. Which means that it is full attention to the present moment without trying to alter or manipulate the experience. Other examples of this might be do nothing meditations or expressive movement meditations. All these are considered insight. Concentration meditation is particularly of focus. So a lot of times it's you're trying to become one with the object of focus, whether that's a mantra or or say like a candle or any of those things. Concentration is what we use when we're trying to kind of unify these things. So I say it's a false dualism because in the practice of mindfulness, we are using concentration to gain insight and to maintain focus and maintain attention. So the mindfulness is its own thing without concentration, but the practice of mindfulness almost naturally entails concentration. And I think it's valuable that we kind of start to kind of link these two things together instead of continuing and perpetrating this delineation between the two. Lovely. And now I have a brief video to kind of illustrate the errors or powers of concentration. And many of you may have seen this before. It's called the monkey business illusion, but this is even an additional kind of variant on it, so if you have seen it before.
The monkey business illusion. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the ball. The correct answer is 16 passes. Did you spot the gorilla? For people who haven't seen or heard about a video like this before, about half miss the gorilla. If you knew about the gorilla, you probably saw it. But did you notice the curtain changing color or the player on the black team leaving the game? Let's rewind and watch it again. Here comes the gorilla, and there goes a player, and the curtain is changing from red to gold.
Sorry that rewind was so loud if you have headphones on.
When you're looking for a gorilla, you often miss other unexpected events.
Exactly.
And that's the monkey business illusion. Learn more about this illusion and the original gorilla experiment at theinvisiblegorilla.com.
Wonderful. And I think it's really fascinating because, like, even, I'd seen that before, and in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm going to see the gorilla, so that's okay. Subconsciously, maybe I saw the curtain change, but definitely not consciously. And then it's really fascinating the player leaving, because at the beginning of the video, there's 6 people lined up, three, clearly 3 white, 3 black, and then at the end, there's only 5. So even if you were just slightly paying attention to the counts, then you would notice. So again, it's a really powerful illustration of what concentration and attention can really do, and how that kind of shapes our reality. And now it is time to get into our meditation. This meditation is called Every Breath Counts, Mindful Exercise. So take a couple moments. Begin to find yourself in a comfortable position. Bodhipska, a Tibetan Buddhist author and professor, said this about concentration. Concentration allows us to really enjoy what we're doing. Whether we are being in the country, or reading a book, writing, or thinking, or talking. Concentration allows us to think more clearly and more deeply. When you first start practicing, we often find the mind wandering quite a good bit. Concentration helps us train the mind by focusing and giving it something to do. Like mindfulness, concentration takes time. When the mind wanders and you bring it back, over time, the mind will learn to focus and let go of distracting thoughts of its own. So let's first begin by finding a comfortable position, a sitting posture in a chair or cushion. If it is more comfortable for you, you may lay down to relax. As long as we have a straight spine, allowing our muscles to relax. And let's briefly begin by checking in with our body. Allow the shoulders to drop. Let go of any tension in the jaw. Soften the muscles of the chest and the abdomen, relaxing your legs and lower body. Inviting in now relaxation. Now notice where you can feel the breath in the body. Maybe the abdomen, the chest, or the nostrils. For now, pick just one place you feel the breath the most, and most easily. Rest with the sensation of the breath in one spot. Inhale and exhale with an awareness. And now, let's begin to count the breaths. Begin counting the breaths. Inhale and exhale with awareness. And count to 1. Inhale and exhale with awareness. And count to 2. Continue like this, all the way up to 8. And when you get there, start back at 1. Remember that the counting serves as an aid to practice, giving the mind something extra to focus on. It is not a competition or measurement to see how well you're doing. Simply counting each inhale and each exhale, noting them, counting them. And then when we arrive at 8, letting go, allowing ourselves to begin again at 1. When the mind wanders, just come back to the breath. Bring back your mind to your counting breaths as many times as necessary. Watch out for judgments and let go of any harsh self-talk. Continue breathing in and out, counting the breaths. And whenever you arrive on your journey at the 8th breath, begin again and rejoice at 1, maintaining focus and concentration. When the mind wanders, notice it. When the mind is concentrated, notice this as well. Repeatedly returning to the focus of the breath. Counting gently, joyfully. Returning attention, maintaining concentration on the breath. You are doing so good. Simply feeling the sensations of the breath, noting them, counting them, and letting them go. Good. Continuing once more with one more round, counting all the way to 8. And this time, when we reach 8, just allowing ourselves to settle in an open awareness. Good. And as we gently return to our awareness from our breath and our bodies and our surroundings, we give ourselves some love and compassion and a pat on the back for exercising this concentration, particularly in these challenging times, for stepping away from distraction and trying to see life truly as it is. Thank you. Lovely. And now, as we end each class, I will be ending our class with a koan. This one is often called Kill the Buddha. When asked why he practiced Zen, the student said, "Because I intend to become a Buddha." His teacher picked up a brick and started polishing it. The student asked, "What are you doing?" The teacher replied, "I'm trying to make a mirror." The student said, "How can you make a mirror by polishing a brick?" The teacher said, "How can you become a Buddha by doing Zazen? If you understand sitting Zen, then you will know Zen is about not sitting or lying down. It's about wanting to learn sitting Buddha, if you want to learn sitting Buddha, know that sitting Buddha is without any fixed form. Do not use discrimination in the non-abiding Dharma. If you practice sitting Buddha, you must kill Buddha. If you are attached to sitting form, then you are not yet mastering the essential principle." The student heard this admonition and felt as if he had tasted the sweet nectar. Good. So this one isn't as much as a twister as it is an important lesson, and I feel like it's something we've been kind of skirting around quite a bit. So again, I will begin class tomorrow discussing that koan. Lovely. So thank you all for taking the time. I really, really appreciate you all being here, taking a few moments just for mindfulness and exploring this journey together. Best ventures to you all. Much love and all the best until next time.